Hello and welcome to UK Versus. I'm angry at UVS, and by the end of this video, you will be too. I am talking about Critical Role. It is coming fast. People will be getting their products quite soon for the people that are attending Worlds. And fair play to everyone that's going. I hope that you pull a Critical Role and get natural 20s rather than natural ones on your polls. You've worked hard to get towards and you deserve to be rewarded with some amazing product. I'm here to talk about a missed opportunity that Pumat Sol should have had. I have briefly discussed this on the Discord for Universes because it hit me and I wanted to talk about it, mainly just to judge the reaction. Pumat Sol is an amazing character. He's no Sean Gilmore. Don't get me wrong, Sean Gilmore is the GOAT. But Pumat Sol is not a bad merchant, not a bad asset to the Mighty Nein. And people have fallen in love with him the moment that they met him, from his relaxed attitude to his simulacrums just being absolute bosses. And of course, the recurring customer discounts. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So who is Pumat Sol? Pumat Sol is an NPC voiced by Matt Mercer, who is the owner of one of the stores in Zadash called the Invulnerable Vagrant. Pumat Sol is a Furborg, I hope I pronounced that right, and has simulacrums that help him run the store, transfer enchantments, and for those who are not D&D knowledge experts like myself, a simulacrum is essentially a clone, a magical double. If you play Baldur's Gate 3, when you are traveling from Act 1 to Act 2, you come across Elminster, and he is a simulacrum of the real Elminster. I would like to talk about Baldur's Gate 3, I'd love to, but that is not our IP. So Pumat Sol has multiple simulacrums, up to 3 of them that we've seen, that help him run the soul, and while we're going through the Critical Role trailer, keen-eyed players and Critical Role fans spotted Pumat Sol has a character card. This is huge. This means that we've got another character confirmed for Mighty Nein, and this is an NPC character similar to Alora and Kima who have been confirmed. And they seem very cool, very powerful, very on point, and have a lot of potential. But there's one aspect of their potential that cannot be realized from the way that cards are currently done. For the Critical Role fans here watching, in Universes, we've had in the past what characters that are called character stackers. There was an entire set called Seventh Cross, which utilized character stackers, and there's an ability for character stacking. What do I mean by character stackers? Well, every character has its identity. That's why when we get multiple characters, they get different titles or different numbers. So we've already got Vaxendale, and if we get another Vaxendale in Critical Role Heroes of Exandria, then he'll have a different title, similar to how the Attack on Titan characters have different titles going in, and how the MHA characters have different numbers going from All Might 1 to All Might 7. It used to be the case when you look at Retro that if you had multiple characters down with the same identity, your main character would gain those abilities. Very cool. There's characters like Jin Kazuma from the original Tekken sets that utilize this, and Seventh Cross has a lot of characters that utilize it. If we look at MHA, we have Ectoplasm and we have Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho, which utilize having more versions of their character down. And there's an entire ability called Gauge, which means if you have an attack that has, say, Gauge 4, if your attack deals 4 damage, you search your deck and discard for a copy of your character and put it into play. This is an amazing aspect of the game, but has been lost since Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity, where the characters lost their control and check values. A card that does not have a control or check value cannot go into your deck, essentially ending the run having multiple characters in your deck. How does this relate to Pumat Sol? Pumat Sol has 3 clones, 3 simulacrums, and we are allowed 3 copies of our character in our deck, or 4 cards in our decks as standard, which means if Pumat Sol's character had a check value and had a control, then we would be able to have a Pumat Sol character stacker who was able to use Pumat Prime and was then able to search out and get other versions of himself, get more abilities, and utilize having more of him in play. This is so on point. This is so thematical. Having a Pumat Sol that is able to utilize having more of him in play is very cool. It would be a great way to adapt the IP, and it cannot have been lost on the design teams that this is a great way to translate the IP. I've just done an entire video about how Vexalia was a great translation once you knew the IP, and this is another example. Pumat Sol definitely will have some utilization with other versions of himself, but Pumat Sol Prime may not have simulacrums in the way of character cards because we've lost the check and the control, but we may see it through other means. What do I mean by this? Well, we've got backups now, and this could be more along the lines of a Beast Titan or a Han Zoe, where we're seeing Pumat Sol and Simulacrum Pumat Sol backups being used to utilize his ability. This could be very cool. We could see shift backups, or shift attacks, or shift foundations that become backups of Pumat Sol, and this is such a cool idea. We may actually get to see the evolution, character stacking. We may get to see the evolution of how these characters are going to utilize these abilities moving forward, cheating out backups of Pumat Sol, cheating out other versions of Pumat Sol, or we could see a May Hatsume 1 situation where you start with other versions of his character removed from play and you get to build them in once a condition is met. There is no way Pumat Sol is not going to utilize other versions of Pumat Sol. It's just how it gets done. We could see a Doppler situation where we're seeing foundations of Pumat Sol coming in, and then we're seeing more versions of those foundations getting played. It's wild. It really makes your mind blow that there is so much opportunity here. Pumat Sol Prime is no different than a Simulacrums. Simulacrums are exact copies. So it's hard really to say. They're all going to be powerful, but I do feel it's a missed opportunity that we can no longer have this gauge character stacking where you can have Pumat Sol 1 buddy blocking for Pumat Sol Prime. The game is evolving. The game is changing. At its core, it's the same, but if we lose buddy blocking and this character stacking ability to endorse more creative game space, if we find a way of utilizing backups to have Pumat Sol simulacrums coming in and get a simulacrum keyword, or we have different versions of the character removed from the game that gets to come in once effects are triggered, I'm excited to see where this goes. Pumat Sol is one I was not expecting. When I saw it, meant nothing to me. I'm now catching up on Mighty Nein, and Pumat Sol is an absolute beast. Again, no Sean Gilmore. Sean Gilmore is the GOAT. But I'm excited to see how UVS are going to adapt to Pumat Sol, what his abilities are going to be, because as far as I know at the minute, he's just a merchant that can transfer enchantments, but his backstory seems to be he's a lot more powerful than he's letting on at the minute. And I'm excited to see where that goes story-wise. So, what do you think? Should Pumat Sol have been a character stacker? Should it have been a ectoplasm Kurama situation where he can use other versions of himself as blocks or to negate damage or to kick attacks? Is it something that we're going to see on the backups where he gets to start with backups and play and he gains different abilities for each different Pumat that he has down? The more Pumats he has, the more abilities he gets. Is it going to be something that he's removed from play and once you play an attack or once you've drawn a certain number of damage, taken a certain amount of damage, you get to bring another one in to make yourself more defensive? Who knows? What do you think Pumat Sol is going to do, and how would you adapt a character stacker in a world where we no longer have character stackers? Attack on Titan brought in backups. That's amazing. We've seen with MHA that we have got removed from play into play effects with things like Mei Hatsume. There's a lot of options out there. So let me know, where do you think Pumat Sol is going? And is it Thursday yet? I'll catch you all in the next one. And no discounts. Bye.